Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. This is the sequel to the first Ninja Turtles movie, which a lot of people were really controversial about. Personally, I didn't think it was horrible, but there were a lot of things I didn't really like about it. And the first thing I want to say is this definitely corrected a lot of those things. Like in the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, we didn't really know what kind of tone they were going for. Like it was either really serious and funny, and the comedy didn't really work out. But in this movie, I will say the tone is definitely fixed. They definitely found the tone they want to go for. Personally, I really like it. Like it really reminds me of the TV show in like 2005 or something. I grew off of that show. I loved it. And this honestly feels like a live action like CGI turtle version of that show, which I really, really liked. The jokes were really funny in this movie. Like a lot of the times, I was laughing really hard. The first, I'd say, like 20, 30 minutes, like the jokes that they said didn't really hit me and it didn't really make me laugh, but then as the movie went on, like the jokes that were in it were a lot better. Mikey was really funny in this movie. There were a lot of things that he said and like did that was really funny. The story in this movie, I felt like it was a pretty strong story. Like the first one was kind of iffy, and but this one felt a lot more solid. Like this was a really good story. This movie is all about the turtles coming out of the shadows because we know as they are ninjas, they kind of stay in the dark and don't let anyone really know who they are besides like April O'Neil. And we actually get a new character that finds out who they are, which is Casey Jones. I thought he was decent in the movie. Like a lot of times when I think of Casey Jones, I think of like a really masculine, like big guy, long hair, and he was more of a funny, like comedic guy and really laid back, and he didn't have the long hair, but after a while, like it didn't really bother me. I just really wish he had the long hair. I don't know. I just grew up with the long hair and it just really stuck into my memory. So seeing him without the long hair kind of bugged me a little bit. Other than that, he was all right. His motivations I really, really liked in this movie. It was really straightforward and you really knew that he wanted to serve justice for his mistake. In a lot of movies nowadays, you don't really know the motives of characters really well, and I don't know, I just really knew his motive. Now, a lot of people are really ripping apart this movie. Like, a lot of my favorite movie YouTubers are giving it really low rating, but personally, I already knew what I was going to come into. I knew it was going to be a funny, like, fun movie about turtles that have weapons and fight bad guys at nighttime. Like I knew what Ninja Turtles was. I wasn't expecting some like amazingly written story and amazing acting or anything. I was just expecting a fun movie to go see with my family, and that's what I got. So I can't really complain. Another thing I want to talk about is how much of a nod they gave to the Ninja Turtles universe. We got to see the turtle kind of truck. And it actually had a horn where it kind of went like, like Turtles in a Half Shell, the song, which was really, really cool. I really liked that. This movie was strictly for fans and younger audiences, I would say. Like, if you're an adult, you're probably not going to go see Ninja Turtles and think it was, like, amazing or anything. So yeah, it's kind of, reviews for a movie like this are really mixed because you have like the really sophisticated audience who is going to see it as like a really bad movie and really poorly written and all that. But then you have like the fans and you have the younger audience, which is where they targeted their target audience, and they're obviously going to like it, which personally I liked it. It's just a tough movie to really judge as a whole. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the villain in this movie. The villain doesn't really do much. Like, the villain is mainly Shredder for the majority of the movie, but Shredder doesn't really do anything, which is really disappointing. He doesn't even fight the turtles, which, honestly, I didn't like that at all. The other villain is Krang, and Krang, in my opinion, he didn't do that much either. Like, he kind of came in at the beginning of the movie for a little bit, and then he came in at the end for the big fight scene, and I don't know, he just wasn't that great of a villain, but he will return, so hopefully they do him right. Some more of the new villains we got is Bebop and Rocksteady, which is a rhino and a warthog. Personally, I didn't know they even existed. Like, I watched the show a long time ago, but I honestly don't remember them at all. And I thought they were great in this movie. Like, they had lots of comedic aspects to them. The fight scenes against them were great. That trailer, or that part from the trailer where the rhino is in the tank and he shoots it, that was a really cool scene to see. Another thing I want to talk about is the action scenes in this movie, and honestly, they were pretty good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, these were pretty good scenes, I would say, for a Ninja Turtles movie. My favorite scene in this movie is probably when Raphael is fed up with Leonardo's kind of decision making because Leonardo's trying to hold him back, and Raph's like, "No, man, like I'm gonna go mess up these foot soldiers." So he literally jumps out of the turtle truck and just double clotheslines the shit out of two ninjas, and it was so cool. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot forget about the amazing acting skills of Megan Fox. Megan Fox was hot as shit in this movie, as she is in every other movie, and that's all I gotta say about her. Alright, everybody, it is time for my rating. And while I do that, I'm gonna be sipping on my Keeping It Lean, Mean, and Green Ninja Turtles cup. I'll show you that on the camera. Uh, yeah, it looks really, really cool. $10 at Winners. No, I'm not sponsored by them. But yeah, I'm going to rate this movie right now, and I'm going to give Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows a solid B. This B is strictly because I knew exactly what this movie was going to be. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. I honestly don't know what else you want from a Ninja Turtles movie. Like, a lot of people are rating this really badly, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure you loved that TV show, so you're basically saying that TV show was horrible during your childhood, which I thought was amazing. And this was basically, it felt to me as if this movie was like a really expensive and long episode of the TV show, which I don't mind because I loved it. And one more thing before I leave, guys. I apologize for this really shitty background. Like, I know I just started and everything. I've been working really, really hard on my background downstairs. So I'm gonna make a promise right now. My background in the next video will look unfreaking believable. And that is a promise. So with that said, thanks for watching this review. And I hope you guys enjoyed Ninja Turtles like I did. You're probably one of the few who don't think it's some kind of disaster movie, even though it was pretty good in my opinion. So, me and my green cup are going to sign out right now, and thanks for watching, and stay tuned because I have my Warcraft review coming on Saturday.